Okay, let's just dive right in. That week, May 11th to May 21st, 2025, it felt relentless, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Every single day, it seemed like another huge AI announcement dropped.
Yeah, not just small updates either. We're talking massive search engine changes, language models taking these crazy
It
leaps.
felt like sci-fi sometimes.
Totally. And get this, the start of controlling your iPhone
Oh.
with your mind, it was just a whirlwind.
It really was. The pace, the breadth of it all,
Yeah.
search, language, hardware, even like fundamental science.
Yeah.
It all seemed to be happening at once.
Exactly, which is why we wanted to do this deep dive. We've waded through, well, a ton of news, reports, all the buzz from that week. And our goal here is simple. Break down what really matters, give you the key takeaways, without you needing a PhD to follow along.
Sounds good. Where should we start? The search stuff felt pretty foundational.
Let's do it. Google search. I mean, it's how so many of us navigate the web, and it looks like it's changing fundamentally.
It really does. This full rollout of AI mode, powered by Gemini 2.5, it's more than just a new look. It feels like a shift in how we even think about finding information online.
Okay, so AI mode. What's actually different under the hood? I saw this phrase, query fan out, mentioned a lot.
Right, query fan out.
Yeah.
So traditional search is mostly about matching keywords, right? You type something, it finds pages with those words.
Yeah.
Query fan out is smarter. The AI takes your question, especially a complex one, and kind of breaks it down. It asks itself related sub-questions.
Ah, okay.
And then it tackles all those sub-questions at the same time, pulling information from all over. It's like having a really fast research team working for you.
That makes sense. Can you give us an example? Like, how would that work practically?
Sure. Think about wanting to compare, say, renewable energy adoption in Germany versus Japan since 2020.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty complex. Lots of data points.
Exactly. Normally, you do maybe 5, 6 different searches.
Yeah.
Policy changes here, investment figures there, tech developments. You'd gather all these bits and pieces yourself.
Right, and then trying to piece it together takes ages.
With AI mode and query fan out, it can look into all those angles, policy, investment, tech, for both countries, all at once. The report said it saves around 40% of the time for that kind of research.
40%. Wow. For anyone doing serious research or even just trying to understand a complicated topic, that's huge.
It really is. And it's not just faster. It might find connections or insights you'd miss, pulling from sources that maybe weren't obvious keyword matches.
So deeper understanding, potentially, not just speed.
That's the idea. Big implications for research, for learning, really for anyone needing comprehensive info.
Now, speaking of search giants, this is where things get really spicy. The rumors about Apple maybe ditching Google as the default search engine.
Oh, yeah. The talks with OpenAI, even Perplexity, that sent ripples everywhere.
I mean, the default on iPhones and iPads, that's prime real estate online.
Absolutely massive. And that reported $20 billion Google pays Apple every year. It just shows you how much that default spot is worth.
20 billion. That's insane. So why would Apple even think about changing? Sounds like their own data is showing a shift in user behavior.
It seems so. Reports mentioned Apple saw something like a 12% drop in people using Safari's traditional search bar.
Okay. So where are they going instead?
Increasingly to tools like ChatGPT. For things like planning or summarizing info, the example given was planning a vegan tour of Paris.
Right. Instead of searching vegan restaurants Paris, Paris attractions, Paris map.
Exactly. You just ask the AI, plan me a vegan-friendly tour of Paris, and it gives you an itinerary, maybe with specific suggestions, directions, all synthesized. People want answers, not just links sometimes.
That makes total sense. So if users are already doing that, Apple integrating a better AI directly makes strategic sense.
Precisely. But think about the knock-on effects. For marketers, advertisers.
Yeah, what happens if keyword searching declines?
It means marketers need to get smarter about understanding the meaning behind queries, the semantic relevance. And we'll probably see more AI native advertising that fits seamlessly into these AI conversations or summaries.
A whole new ballgame for online ads. Okay, so search is evolving fast. What about the AI models themselves? OpenAI moving from GPT-4.0 to 4.1 seemed super quick.
Astonishingly fast. It just highlights how relentless the push for better performance is. And the improvements weren't trivial.
No kidding. 28% better on STEM tests, 19% faster. Those are solid gains.
Right. And the really interesting bit, the free version, GPT 4.1 mini, apparently outperforms the previous top model, FIO.
Wow, so state-of-the-art AI is becoming much more accessible.
That really democratizes it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With powerful tools in more hands. But OpenAI didn't stop there. Codex agent, That sounded like something else entirely.
Autonomous coding. Yeah, tell us about that. What is Codex Agent?
Think of it as an AI that can actually do software development tasks on its own. It uses a specialized reasoning model based on their O3 model, and it can write new features, find and fix bugs, even run tests. The early trials showed it cut debugging time by 65%.
65%, especially for older systems like COBOL, they mentioned. That could save companies a fortune.
Huge potential,
Yeah.
especially for modernizing legacy systems or even for startups needing to move fast.
What about developers, particularly junior ones? Does this replace jobs?
That's a big question, isn't it? It'll likely change jobs. Developers might focus more on high-level design, complex problem-solving, sort of guiding these AI agents. It shifts the skill set required.
Evolution rather than replacement, maybe. Okay, let's switch gears to Google DeepMind. They always seem to be pulling off something incredible.
They really do. AlphaEvolve, solving a 300-year-old math problem, the kissing number problem. That's just wild.
Shows AI tackling really fundamental theoretical science.
Exactly. But it wasn't just pure math. They also used AlphaEvolve to improve their own tech.
Right, like optimizing flash attention, which makes AI processing faster.
And redesigning how memory works in their TPUs, their AI chips, leading to real performance boosts.
So how does AlphaEvolve do that? What's the method?
It's fascinating. It combines large language models, for the reasoning part, with evolutionary algorithms, thinks survival of the fittest for code or designs.
So it iterates and improves designs automatically.
Precisely. And the results were significant. 32.5% better performance for flash attention, 23% faster AI training because of the TPU cache changes. That helps everyone doing AI research.
It feels like AI is becoming a core R&D tool itself, not just analyzing data.
Absolutely. It's actively participating in discovery. That prediction about cutting innovation cycles by 50, 70%.
Yeah.
If that pans out, wow.
Mind-boggling potential acceleration. Okay, but with all this power comes the tricky stuff. Ethics, regulation. That U.S. Innovation Preservation Act proposal stirred things up.
It really did. It touches on that core tension. How do you encourage innovation without letting potential harms run rampant?
The idea of blocking state AI laws until 2035, that's a long time. And it could wipe out rules already in place in, 42 states?
Right. Laws covering things like deepfake disclosure, tackling bias in algorithms.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
So what's the argument for the federal block?
Simplicity, mainly. A single set of rules for companies operating nationwide instead of a patchwork of state laws. They estimate it could save businesses over $4 billion a year in compliance costs.
Okay, I can see the business argument, but the critics.
They're worried it freezes protections, just as AI is becoming more powerful and embedded in our lives. Delaying rules against discrimination or ensuring transparency, that feels risky to many.
A real dilemma. And it's not just a U.S. issue. The UN meeting on lethal autonomous weapons systems, or law abuse.
That brought the global security implications into sharp focus, especially with things like drone swarms being used in conflicts now.
Yeah, the idea of weapons deciding who to target without a human in the loop. It's deeply unsettling.
And the estimate was over 200 AI-driven weapon systems are already deployed globally. Things like loitering munitions that can identify targets by heat signature.
So it's not theoretical anymore.
Not at all. And it creates this terrible dilemma. Could autonomous systems save soldiers' lives in dangerous situations? Maybe. But what about accountability? What about mistakes? International law, it's incredibly complex.
And the pressure on defense companies to build in ethical safeguards must be immense.
It absolutely should be. Okay, let's shift from the battlefield to something more hopeful. AI in healthcare. That story from Boston Children's Hospital was amazing.
Truly inspiring. Using AI to tackle Tay-Sachs disease in a baby.
Yeah, using AlphaFold 3, which predicts protein structures, combined with CRISPR-AI tools to design a gene therapy.
And the AI was incredibly accurate at predicting potential problems, right? Like side effects.
Way more accurate than human experts, reportedly.
Yeah.
99.97% versus 89%. That level of precision is game-changing for safety.
And it led to emergency FDA approval in just 72 hours. That's unheard of.
It really is. For rare genetic diseases where developing treatments can take years, AI might slash that time down to weeks. The potential impact is massive. Saving maybe 1.2 million lives a year by 2030 was one estimate.
Incredible, though you have to wonder about access, right? Making sure everyone benefits.
That's a crucial ethical consideration, absolutely. Equitable access is key.
Okay, from editing our genes to controlling things with our minds. Neurotech. The Apple and Synchron collaboration sounds like pure sci-fi.
Isn't it? Stentrode. It's a brain-computer interface, or BCI.
So it reads brain signals.
Essentially, yes. It allows people with paralysis to control an iPhone, or even Apple's Vision Pro headset, just using their neural activity.
Wow. And the example was someone with ALS texting at 18 words per minute.
Exactly. Or navigating VR environments just by thinking. For people with conditions like ALS over 450,000 in the U.S., this could be life-altering, restoring communication, independence.
Truly incredible. And they mention neuroadaptive UX. What's that?
That's the next step, potentially. Imagine apps changing their layout or function based on your cognitive load, measured by the BCI, making tech truly responsive to you.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. Let's quickly look at the corporate side. Google I/O had some big AI ad tech announcements.
Right, an AI suite for advertisers.
Yeah.
You can generate video ads just from product photos.
Seriously?
Yeah, and optimize where ads are placed using real-time sentiment analysis, trying to match the ad's tone to what the viewer seems receptive to.
That sounds powerful. Did they have results?
They mentioned a beta test with Nike showing a 33% jump in click-through rates by doing that kind of tone matching based on search history.
Hyper-personalized ads. Could be great for small businesses, maybe less so for traditional ad agencies.
Definitely shakes things up. But then there was Meta's move, pausing training on their giant Behemoth model. That was unexpected.
Yeah, 1.6 trillion parameters. Why hit pause?
They cited diminishing returns. Basically, making the model even bigger wasn't making it proportionally smarter, especially on reasoning tasks, despite costing way more to train.
So bigger isn't always better.
It seems there might be a point where just scaling up hits a wall. Their internal studies apparently showed performance plateauing after about 800 billion parameters. Echoes what some AI safety researchers have been saying.
Interesting. So what's the alternative?
Maybe a shift toward more modular approaches. Smaller, specialized models working together could be more efficient, maybe even better for the open source community.
Fascinating strategic pivot. Okay, so let's try and wrap this incredible week up. We saw AI shaking up search.
Huge leaps in language models and AI coding assistance.
Tough but vital debates on regulation and autonomous weapons.
Genuinely life-changing breakthroughs in AI for healthcare.
Mind-bending neurotech becoming real.
And big strategic moves in the corporate AI race.
It really feels like that dual track you mentioned earlier, insane technical power increasing.
Alongside these escalating ethical and governance challenges that we have to grapple with, we need smart, adaptable ways to guide this, balancing innovation with accountability.
Absolutely. And looking forward, this idea of seamless human-AI collaboration. With specialized agents, maybe even neurotech interfaces, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How will that change your daily life, your work, your interactions?
It's definitely something to ponder. How deeply integrated will AI become, and what will that feel like?
Exactly. Food for thought. Well, that's all we have time for in this deep dive. Thanks so much for joining us on this exploration of a truly packed week in AI.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Stay curious, keep asking questions, and we'll catch you next time.